So we see a lot of governments in the West all of a sudden going with this digital ID to use social media, etc. And it's all at once. Like, it's not all countries within years of each other. It's all at once. So what's the deal with that? First of all, second of all, they say it's all about protecting young people, etc. But it really isn't, because let's be fair. There is gambling websites everywhere on social media, online. There's nothing done to stop people accessing them. There's nothing done to stop accessing other websites, porn websites, they're everywhere. Take for example Twitter too. They probably shouldn't have actual porn on Twitter too, on a public social media platform. They probably should ban porn. In my opinion, they're pretty sure it would be difficult to do, of course, because just to create a legal market, etc. But I do think that should be, instead of policing people's speech, and we have to be honest, that's what the European Union and the majority of the Western countries want to do, is policing people's speech, making sure they're not committing talk crime behind anonymous accounts, etc. Because that's what they're really, really upset about, is people committing talk crime. And this is just a convenient excuse in a lot of cases to do this. In Ireland, they say they care about children. We want the ban of under 16, Simon Howard has said. And the same fellow too, let's be fair. There's so many paedophiles going up to the courts. They're getting fully suspended sentences, the big criminal convictions. They get fully off with it. They basically get a slap in the wrist and let off with it. And you meet the same with the Irish state cares about children, not to mention the amount of children that's gone missing in the state's care here in Ireland, not to mention the amount of children waiting for scoliosis treatment and to be seen to by CAMS, etc., mental health services, etc. The Irish state couldn't give a damn about the children, the Irish children, let's be fair, they couldn't give a damn. So why did they care about what they do online? Let's be fair, this is all about control. And it's the same in Spain, it's the same across the Western world. That's what it is. It's about controlling people, it's about shutting people up because, they could access your bank account. And again, the Irish government said a very upsetting thing that it's going to be linked to my government account, to take for example, which is the government website basically too, and of course then it might be linked to your bank account. So the government pretty much can know what your details are, etc., and who you're employed by and all that. It's very shady and stuff when you look into it. But this is the thing, I do think we should ban porn websites. I know it would probably create a legal market, but I do think we should have that conversation in Ireland. Because if we're really out to protect children, that's what we should do. And the same with gambling websites, but it's too big of an industry. This is the thing, the porn industry and stuff is far too big of an industry. The same with the gambling industry, and the Irish government doesn't want to get rid of that. And they're just the too engrossed with the money. Let's put that way. Indecency. Let's put that way. And especially the porn industry, particularly, has such an impact on particularly young men. I'm sure people have seen the show Adolescence too. That it does have an effect on young men, particularly when they're very, very young teenagers, etc. A lot of young men particularly think they can abuse women, etc. Not in all cases, but in a lot of cases too. Because what they see on social media and what they see on porn websites and other cases and stuff like that. And it has happened, there's studies about it too. But this is the thing, I do think it's necessary, unfortunately. If we were really serious about protecting children, that would be what Simon Harris would be coming up with. You have to have ID to access these websites. That would be a start, without saying we're going to shut everybody up, basically. Because it's all about shutting people up, in my opinion, these things. That's what it is, pretty much. It's not about protecting children. Because if they really wanted to protect children, there's literally paedophiles getting off scot-free. And we see with the Epstein files, nobody's been arrested, nothing has been done. In Ireland, there's probably many of them that were on the Epstein client list, and the Irish government doesn't want to know about it, they're not interested. So if they really cared about children, you'd think they'd be hunting these people down that were on the list and putting them in prison for the rest of their life. The same with people who are up in court, to the one where I could pull out a whole load of articles of people that done heinous stuff to children, and they get off scot-free. And that's the thing. And then they turn around and say we care about children. Don't cod yourself, really, please don't cod yourself, because you can't have both, pretty much. But I do think it's necessary too, because we look at OnlyFans, take for example. A huge amount of money being spent, and a lot of people are spending money on OnlyFans, etc. And first of all, it's immoral. First of all, to be doing that kind of stuff. In my opinion, of course, it's your own business if you want to do it. But I don't think it's right, and particularly, and again, there was a story done, I think it was in Canada or somewhere, that the majority of people too that have OnlyFans, like the majority of people who pay OnlyFans, in some cases children and stuff like that, which is insane too to think about. But there's no age verification and stuff there, so basically a young lad or a young girl could just access OnlyFans and make an account, to have a bank account, of the link their parents' bank account. I've heard cases of that before. But the Irish state doesn't care. The Irish state just doesn't give a damn for that. But that's what I'm saying. We probably should look about banning or even having ID for porn websites. I think everybody would agree with that statement, that we should have it, that you shouldn't be able to access a porn account in Ireland. Or it shouldn't be on a public social media platform too. I don't think that's right. The main things, whatever about freedom of speech, people can argue about freedom of speech, etc. I don't think that's freedom of speech. Like porn accounts, gambling accounts, animal abuse accounts, accounts that do like promote harm to people, etc. shouldn't be on social media platforms, public social media platforms. But people's opinions should be allowed, of course. But I don't agree with that. And again, if we want to protect children, that's what we need to do. But the Irish state doesn't care. So that's as simple as that. As I say, I suppose you'd be shooting yourself in the foot because they just start an illegal market, and that'll be just you would never be done with it. But anyway, let me know what you think, because I do think it's necessary. First of all, to have age verifications to access them, I do think it's necessary. And of course, it would stop a lot of people if they don't want to give their IDs, etc. Not it won't be to the government; it'll be to whatever website they're on, etc. Be up to them to look after. It's not the government's pretty much responsible. They have legislation to, if they were going to protect children, they have legislation in place that if any child gets on it, they'd be liable to it. But that never happened, because that's what they need. That's what I would do if I wanted to protect children. That's what I'd be doing. And of course, anybody that was on the Epstein list and stuff would be going to prison, or worse, to be totally honest. That's where they'd be going. And the same with people committing heinous crimes against children. They'd be going to prison or getting worse. They wouldn't be getting off or fully suspend the sentence. So that's how you show that you care about children and you will care about their well-being, etc. You people that prey on children, etc. You deal with them very, very harshly. But yeah, the Irish state doesn't do that. Anyway, let me know what you think. Subscribe for more, and bye.